Well, I would like to thank everybody for coming to our October webinar. This month we're doing something a little bit different than what we normally do. And we are going to have our option director, Dr. Eugene Lengerich, talk about the program as a whole. And then he's going to get into some specifics about the Capstone experience. And both of these webinars were developed after talking to students at commencement last year and finding out what sort of information they wished that they had known earlier in the process. So we put these webinars together as a way to help give you as much information as possible, as early as possible, to make this program experience as beneficial for you as possible. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Lengerich in a second. I just want to make two quick announcements first. One is that I put this on our LinkedIn group and it's posted in some of the classes, but we are going to have a new elective starting in the spring. Well, it's going to be offered in the spring, PHP 897, and it's going to be a class that looks at non-medical obstacles to public health responses. I'll be teaching that one, and I'm really excited about it. And then our next webinar is going to be in November. It's going to be the first Wednesday of November, and it is going to be given by Dr. Saskia Popescu, who was she graduated from George Mason with her PhD in biodefense, and she works in infection control and epidemiology in a hospital out in Arizona. So I'm really looking forward to listening to her. So that will be November 6th at 8 p.m. So these two webinars that Dr. Lengerich is about to present, these are both going to be mandatory for all of the students in the program. So I'm gonna, the last slide for each of them says to send Rachel Rager an email. For all the students that are logged in here, I will just make a list and I will send them to her. So if you're watching the live version, you don't have to email her. But if you're watching this as a recording, please email her according to the information on the slide to get credit for it. So now, Dr. Lengerich, without further ado, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jen. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about public health preparedness. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Good, thank you. Like Jen said, this is two presentations. We will pause in the middle to talk about the second before we load the second one. What I would ask is that you hold your questions till the end. If you do have questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat box, or if you have a microphone, we can call on you as well. But please hold your questions till the end. I'm really excited to talk about this. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, is the Public Health Preparedness Program at Penn State University. So what we really want to do tonight is to give you a general overview to what it's like here in public health preparedness, review the curriculum for you. Some of you who are a portion of the way through the curriculum will know this fairly well, or at least I hope you do. But we do want to make sure that you're also aware of some of the available resources that Penn State has, as well as things that public health preparedness offers to you specifically. So what is public health preparedness at Penn State? So our goal is to prepare students to plan for and lead effective medical and public health responses to natural and man-made disasters. That's really our overall goal. So we want to work with students who have a good, solid undergraduate degree in something related to public health preparedness, often in the medical field or law enforcement field, sometimes criminal justice, but a whole variety of things and they've been practicing in the public health field often for a period of time. And we're looking to take them to the next level. If you're not aware of it, this is offered through the Penn State College of Medicine, but in conjunction with Penn State Health and Hershey Medical Center. So it's really nice that we have a medical center here to back up and to participate in what we're doing here from the public health perspective as well. We began in 2006. Jen is one of our alum. And it is the first and only Homeland Security curriculum offered by a medical school. So we're proud of that. We think we have a definite niche there in the higher education area. But we are part of one of 7 specializations within the overall Homeland Security curriculum. The others are things like ag biosecurity, geospatial intelligence, counterterrorism, a base program. There's a variety of them that focus most of them focus a bit more on sort of the social sciences and earth and mineral sciences approach to Homeland Security. Throughout the curriculum, we do use an all hazards approach, and we particularly focus upon current knowledge and awareness. We've just been looking at some revisions to our 410, 510 curriculum, and one of the things that we're going to stress there is making sure that we have current Homeland Security plans, national plans in place in that text, but we try to keep our material up to date. Jen and Gavin are particularly very good about that. We do build a lot on vulnerability assessments, particularly in PHP 530, where we're looking at critical infrastructure protection for hospitals and healthcare systems. Epidemiology and exposure evaluation is a critical part of what we provide students. And of course, developing response plans for healthcare and healthcare systems. As you know, this is delivered through Penn State World Campus. World Campus is a delivery mechanism. So that is the Penn State's campus that delivers mostly asynchronous programs over the web, such as this. If you're not aware of it, we at Penn State do have a Master of Professional Studies, which the majority of our students are in. That's the master's degree. But we also do offer 2 graduate certificates. I'll talk more specifically about the graduate certificates towards the end of this session. So our students, we admit about 30 to 40 top students per year. We have a continuous admission cycle, meaning that when we get applications, we try to review them and get when we get completed applications, I should stress, we try to get those reviewed and back to the students with our decision within 14 days. We do realize that people have options for going to school, and we want to make sure that we are conveying our decisions immediately to the students. We do have a diverse set of students in age, race, ethnicity, sex, and location as well. I think we are one of the few specializations within the Homeland Security curriculum that has about a 50-50 male to female ratio. On average, students take about 2.5 to 3 years to graduate, and that is typically at the pace of 2 courses per semester. Roughly, our profile looks about 25% are in law enforcement or military background, another 25% in hospital and healthcare, and then about 15% in emergency response and public health each then. And then the others are sort of a smattering of backgrounds. Many of our students are employed when they start with us and then are able to continue that or advance within their position, but they are typically employed by industry such as hospitals and healthcare systems, maybe in academia, certainly in government and law enforcement. But those are some of the examples of where our students are employed when they leave our program. Here's an astute bunch of people. These are our faculty that do our teaching through to public health preparedness. Over here on the left is me. So I serve as program director as well as an academic advisor, and I have had the privilege of working with students, particularly in 596, which is our individual studies course, and I'll talk more about that in the capstone presentation. Then we have Dr. Nina Gannon. Nina is our assistant program director. She's also an academic advisor, and she has a large hand in PHP 594, the capstone course. Dr. Gavin McGregor Skinner, he's a jack of all trades. He teaches 3 courses for us, 1 each semester, PHP 510, 831, and 832. He developed 831 and 832, so those are courses that he has a lot of investment and pride in. And then Dr. Jen Osetek, she also is a PHP alum. She handles PHP 410 and more recently 530. and she is also the coordinator of our seminar series. Dr. Zhengmin Qian he's an environmental epidemiologist, and he is the chair of epidemiology at St. Louis University, but we've had the privilege of having him on the Penn State faculty teaching our epidemiology and evaluation course for a number of years, probably about 8 or 10 years. So he does a fantastic job with that. And then Charlotte Palmer-Roy is also a PHP alum, and she particularly helps out with PHP 530. She's a teaching assistant for that. That is a fairly intense course, has a lot of group interaction, so we team her up with the instructor for PHP 530 and are able to cover a lot of ground that way. And then Dr. Bruce Rudy has been handling PHP 540 during the summers for the past couple of years. Dr. Rudy is a physician assistant as well as a doctor of education, and he also serves as, I think, deputy coroner for Lebanon County here in Pennsylvania, so he has a direct hand in the entire medical system. Just a quick overview to the PHP curriculum. We offer 8 courses. The PHP 410 is our introductory course. It serves as a survey of natural and terrorist incidents and their impact upon public health or healthcare. So this is a place where you would get an introduction to the various disasters and terrorist events, bioterrorism, nuclear radiation, etc., and sort of a little bit of history of that, as well as their impact upon public health and healthcare. PHP 510 is the second of the introductory courses, and this takes more of an approach of preparation and response of public health and healthcare to these incidents. So in the first course, you get an introduction to them, and then in the second course, you'll get more of a what the local, state, national, and international response is to these. As I said before, PHP 527 is our epidemiology and exposure assessment course. 530 is hospital and health system preparedness. So this is one of the courses that specializes in a particular preparedness and development of an emergency response plan. And then PHP 594 is the capstone. And it can be summarized as producing a scholarly article. And again, I'll talk about that more in the second seminar. PHP 596 is individual studies. That includes an internship. It's an opportunity for you to design your own course. We've had a number of students do that, and I think they've benefited from it quite a bit. They use it to really dig in depth into a topic that there is no other course on that they really want to learn, or maybe they have a competency that they want to develop. And so this is an opportunity for them to do that. We've had a few students who have arranged internships, and so they can arrange to get some academic credit for an internship. You do need to do more than just go to the internship every day and perform the duties that's expected of you there. There needs to be an academic component too for the credits, but students have used PHP 596 to gain credit for their degree in conjunction with doing an internship that they've arranged. PHP 831 rather is exercise drills and tabletops. So we prepare you there for running exercise, designing them, and preparing your business or your industry or the group that you work with for preparedness. And then PHP 832 is about laboratory preparedness. So we've heard a bit about that a few years ago about samples being confused or sent where they shouldn't be. That shouldn't be happening. And so PHP 832 is a course to help prepare that from happening. So for the master's degree, there is a core curriculum which constitutes 9 credits. These 3 courses are HLS 801, 803, and 805. All students in the Homeland Security Master's Program take these courses. We encourage you to take them early in your tenure with us, particularly 801. 801 each of these courses is offered every semester. So in terms of offering times, there's really no excuse for not taking them early on. The prescribed courses in PHP are 410, 510, 527, and 530. These are required courses in the PHP curriculum. And then skipping a bullet over, the Capstone experience, PHP 594, is also required. So those courses, the prescribed courses plus the Capstone experience, are the ones that are mandatory for all students in our PHP master's degree. But you also need to round out the 33 credits with 9 credits of electives. We do offer 4 PHP courses, each of them at 3 credits. So you can satisfy all of your electives just in the PHP curriculum. They are good courses. We'll talk more about 596 later on, and as Jen has mentioned, she will be offering 897 in non-medical obstacles to public health preparedness this spring, which is an 897 course. And then, of course, there are non-PHP courses, which students do take and enjoy. So you should look at those as well. There's a half a dozen or so that students frequently take and seem to enjoy, so look at those as well. Again, it's a total of 33 credits. The website is listed here for the overview to the curriculum for the master's degree. I can't say it enough, plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. And these are some of the basic guidelines that you should be thinking about when you're working up your curriculum. Take at least 1 PHP course each semester. And the reasons are this really does build a solid PHP foundation for you. And so you're always then in the PHP curriculum rather than stacking it up always just at the end. We really encourage you to take at least 1 per semester. A second important thing is that it minimizes the risk of a mismatch between what you want to take and its availability. This next line says that 3 courses, PHP 510, 527, 530, are only offered once per year. That means if you are coming up, you don't have any other courses to take, but you've missed taking one of these, you may have to wait a semester or 2 until they are offered again, and that disruption is not what anybody wants to do. So you need to plan ahead so that you are that you have those 3 courses particularly planned into your curriculum. You do have an academic advisor, we'll talk about that in a moment, who can help you plan that, but be aware that those 3 courses are offered only once per year. And then 2 of our electives, 831 and 832, are offered only once per year. And I guess I should add 897 to that list as well. So that is a new course, the non-medical obstacles. But each of those are only offered once per year, but they are electives and not required courses. So we really encourage you to take HLS 801 during the first semester. And so if you are starting when 410 is being offered, a good pair is to take PHP 410 and Homeland Security 801. And then pick up the HLS 803 and 805 within the next couple of semesters. Again, they are offered every semester, so you don't need to pick them up immediately, but we do encourage you to get them in the first half of your tenure with us. Many students opt for 2 courses, 6 credits per semester, but it's really up to the individual student. How familiar are you with online courses? What other professional and family and career obligations do you have? We realize that it's not the same from semester to semester. We have had one student take 18 credits one semester because she was in a hurry to get her program finished. So she took 18 and then 15, and she was able to finish in 2 semesters. But we've had other students, because of deployments or family situations, who have taken 3, 4, even 5 years to complete the program. 5 years is the maximum time for completing the program. So you do have that time, you do have an extended period of time if you're going to take less than 2 courses per semester. Currently, our PHP course schedule is during the summer semester. We offer 410, 594, 596, and 832. In the fall, we offer 410, 527, 594, 596, and 831. And in the spring, we offer 510, 527, 530, 594, and 596. Spring is typically the semester that if there's going to be conflict or problems with the mismatch, it often happens in spring because that is the only time that 5:10 and 5:30 are offered. So this is a course map, or an example of a course map for somebody that might be taking 2 courses per semester. So in the fall of year 1, you would do the HLS 801 and PHP 410. There also is an HLS orientation that you need to do plus this. So those are very brief, but that would be a good time to get that done with. Then in the spring, 5:10, 5:30 possibly. In the summer, you could take your second HLS required course and an elective. Then in the fall, you'll pick up 5:27 and a second elective. In the spring, you would then come around to the third of your core courses and your third elective, and then finishing up in the second summer with PHP 594. Do remember that summer semesters are 12 weeks. The other 2 semesters are 15 weeks. So you do have a shorter period of time in the summer to complete all of the curriculum. Our courses are modified slightly so that they can be offered within a 12-week period as opposed to the 15-week period. But do keep that in mind. And sometimes, particularly for 594, students realize that if they're going to do it during the summer, it's probably best to have only 1 course so that they can really focus upon the 594, and since it's going to be into a 12-week period. As I said before, the following electives are offered in the summer and fall, 832 and 831 respectively. Of course, you should be looking on LionPath for courses and when they are offered. And contact your academic advisor. That person is listed in LionPath. It would either be Dr. Gannon or myself, and we'd be happy to help you plan out your curriculum, particularly plan your curriculum that's really going to cater to what your interest is, what your experience is, what kind of career or opportunities you're aiming for in the future. So work with your academic advisor to plan out your curriculum. And of course, you're welcome to contact the professor of each course. They are typically listed in LionPath. If they're not there, you could talk to your advisor, and we could probably help you know who that is. If maybe you want to get an advanced look at a syllabus or something like that, to be able to plan about whether you would have enough time to do that course during the semester you're planning to do it. And then we do have, as I said before, HLS 801, 803, and 805, as well as PHP 594, which all are offered every semester. So you've got a lot of flexibility with those offerings. The Capstone. This is the culminating course. So it should be close to your final course in your program. Doesn't have to be in the very final semester, but at least when you're 2/3 of the way through, you should have a good portion of the curriculum under your belt when you do the culminating course. It is a scholarly paper. You choose the topic, and that might be something that you're interested because it's relevant to your work or your career. Might be stimulated by current events. We've had many of those in the past, or just something that you're personally interested in. But this is your chance to choose to do a scholarly paper on a topic that you choose. We do hope and plan that you integrate prior courses and interest into doing PHP 594. Do remember it's required for graduation. That means you have to have at least a C or better to be able to graduate. I didn't mention this also, but you do need a 3.0 to graduate. If you fall below a 3.0, you'll be in not good standing with the graduate school, and you will need to develop a plan for remedying that situation. We don't have many students that fall below that, but occasionally it happens, usually associated with some kind of sudden or a tragic event in a person's life. If something happens that you need to relook at the courses that you're enrolled in, speak up immediately. Contact your advisor, contact Ms. Rager, because you can probably drop the course, and maybe even drop the course with nothing being on your transcript, and getting the majority of your tuition money back as well. So if you do have problems with a course, speak up soon, as soon as you even think that it might be a problem. But back to the capstone, it's never too early to start planning and asking your advisor or finding a local mentor. We'll talk more about this in the next seminar on the PHP 594 overview seminar. I had mentioned before that we do offer 2 graduate certificates. The Public Health Preparedness is 12 credits. It is 410, 510, 527, and 530. There are no electives necessary or required for this certificate. We often find that students start with a certificate and then find that this program fits what they're looking for, and then they ask for admittance to the master's program. That is, particularly if they're doing well, that happens frequently. So sometimes we will have students in the certificate program kind of trying out our courses and seeing if this is a good fit for them. The second certificate is Hospital and Health System Preparedness. It's 15 credits, so 3 more credits. 410, 510, 530, and 831 are required. And then the student chooses one elective, either 527 or 832, to make the 15 credits. This certificate emphasizes what goes on in hospitals and health systems. And so we're really trying to equip people who see themselves as nurses or physicians or surgeons or maybe emergency management individuals who are really connected very closely with the hospital and health system. There are a bunch of resources available to you as a student. Penn State takes very seriously the providing resources to World Campus students, even though the vast majority of them are not on our one of our physical campuses at Penn State or in Pennsylvania. So we do take seriously providing students with a comparable experience. So you can always get technical support. There are a number of other opportunities, such as the career services. So you can see those links down below. And with the career services, for example, they will help meet with you and help you work on resumes or interviews or finding an internship. But they have services that are available to World Campus students. We also have a fantastic military and veterans group as well that are not listed here on this slide, but we also have a great group that will help our military and veterans be able to negotiate Penn State. We do offer tutor.com, which can help you with your writing and in specific classes, so ask your professor about that. We often find that students, this is the first time coming back to an academic environment, so scholarly writing particularly is a skill that they've not practiced recently, so utilizing something like tutor.com might be able to help you overcome some of that rustiness. And then at the bottom, we do have a website. Chula Paul maintains that nicely, where we keep and store all of our seminars. So this one, for example, will be posted there within the next couple of days and will be viewable to anybody that can find it. We do have a link here for you, but they are maintained on our PHP website within my department. Just as a note, the last month's webinar was on library, the Penn State Library, which is a fantastic resource. I'd encourage everybody to take a look at that, particularly as you're thinking about doing literature reviews, or maybe you need some help in conducting a literature review, how to go about doing that. Maybe you want some help with managing references or citations. That's a place that can help you. They do have an expert that is assigned to the PHP field as well, so that person is familiar with some of our resources and databases, so you've got that resource at your fingertips also. Here are some of the resources specifically to public health preparedness. As we've said, we do have a webinar series, first Wednesday of every month from September to May, usually 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we send out the speaker, the topic, the link. And as I said before, the webinar recordings are listed here. We do have a LinkedIn page as well, and we really encourage you to participate in that. So if you're on LinkedIn, please send a note to this group. It's a private group, one that is just for PHP students, alum, faculty, and staff. So it's not very large, and we try to keep it specific to our PHP program. So this is a place where you'll see announcements about jobs or about seminars, or just being able to keep in touch with students who have gone through the PHP program previously. So you'll get to know them, you'll find out where they may be working, what they're doing, and be able to communicate directly with them. So we really encourage you to participate in our private LinkedIn group. And then program events. So we try to get together various times, even though it is a World Campus Programs and students might be all across the US or even around the world. We as faculty do try to offer a meet and greet session. We just did that last Friday at Hershey, for example. So several of our students who are local were able to come by and meet a number of the faculty. And we find it really helpful for this, because this is where students are able to give us definite feedback about their program, about their courses, about what they want to do in a capstone, and it's a great time for interaction. We also try to meet up at conferences, and commencement is a great time. That is at Hershey in May, so we really strongly encourage you to attend that when you are graduating. Other resources. So Rachel Rager is just fantastic academic support coordinator for our program. She can be reached at rmr16@psu.edu. She's been with the program for a long time and knows all of the ins and outs and everything. She's seen it all. So please contact her if you have any questions about enrollment, registration, or anything really. She can probably help you. And you do have an academic advisor, and we're here to help you. So we should be there to assist you in developing curriculum or schedule, staying on track. We do regularly review the student's academic progress as well, so that you may see an email from us saying, how are things going? I see that you dropped down a course this semester. Is there any problem, or is there anything that I can do for you? Answer any questions, but we do regularly review your academic progress as well. And you'll find out who your advisor is. As I said before, it's either myself or Dr. Gannon, and we are listed in LionPath, and you should receive a welcome or an introduction letter from your advisor too when you get started in the program. There are 2 PHP Honor Societies, the red, white, and blue honor cords for veterans, for veterans or current military members, and you are recognized at commencement, and you do have the opportunity to join Salute also. Penn State does not have a chapter, but you would apply as an individual. Jen is a strong proponent of that, so if you have any questions, you could talk to her about that. Well, she's also a strong proponent of the blue and gold honor cords. This is for the Order of the Sword and Shield, which is the academic and professional honor society for Homeland Security, intelligence, emergency management, and protective security disciplines. And you have to be halfway through your program to be able to apply. We do have a chapter, but we encourage you to look up both of those honor societies and participate in them. So what's next as we end up this seminar here? So as Jen said at the beginning, to confirm that you viewed this presentation, please complete the PHP program overview assignment in PHP 410, and she'll take care of recording that you observe this. But if you're not currently in 410, please send Rachel Rager an email saying that you watched this. And if you've got any comments about it too, please let us know. Or if you have questions that come up, we would be happy to try to answer those. And as always, you have an advisor to be able to ask questions of. And then finally, we are here to help. So we want to see you. This is most of the faculty members at commencement. So this is what we look like. We really want to work with you and wish you the best as you work towards this important goal for yourself, personally, as well as within your career. So with that, Jen, I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions that have come in that I could try to answer, or we've also got other people in the line that might be able to help.
Okay, I will see if there are any hands raised. One point I did want to make about both honor societies is if you are interested in either one of those, just plan ahead in enough time to get your honor cords before commencement. I believe that the honor or the Order of the Sword and Shield is about a semester or two out, just to make sure that you get your stuff in time. And I believe when I joined Salute, it was pretty quickly, a pretty quick turnaround, but Rachel can also get the red, white, and blue honor cords because Penn State will provide them. But I just hate to see people go to commencement and then say, oh, I wish I had known that. So just plan ahead so we can make sure that you get the honor cords that you should have. And I don't see any questions, so I think we can go into the next one.
Okay, let me see if I can